Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful day. If you are not a returning viewer and you're a new viewer, it is very nice to meet you guys. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Orchid, as well as XRP, and a couple article references of what's going on with Bitcoin that I found really interesting. So I want to share all that with you guys today, as well as doing some technical analysis. Just a quick side note, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. The things that I'm sharing with you, my own opinion, my own perspective view on things, but I always encourage you guys to do more research on your own. And yeah, if you guys would like to, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up like button. We are trying to get to at least 50 likes. It really does help us out a ton if you do that. And also the bell notifications, that way then you get an alert when there's a new video. If you don't do that, YouTube is not going to be really promoting this to you. So for all the hottest, greatest news that's going on with cryptocurrency, then you guys are more than welcome to come back and hang out with us. And I hope you guys have a good time. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get right into the news here going on with Bitcoin. Going on with the Bitcoin. First thing we're looking at, this is why is Bitcoin's price rising. Here are a few possible answers, and that's the title of the article that I'm referring to. But one of the key elements that I want to reference to this is this lower section right here. Then again, just because one can't withdraw Bitcoin from OKX, which OKX is one of the other cryptocurrency exchanges, and there was a huge debacle there, and one of the representatives was arrested, and now he's coming back. So a lot of people are like, hey, I can't really do much on the exchange because everything got locked. But this is really a key point. Just because one can't withdraw Bitcoin from OKX, that doesn't mean one can't trade on it. Very interesting. In fact, open interest on its futures contract are at $1.22 billion, according to Skew. That's the biggest open interest figure for any exchange. The CME, for instance, is $200 million smaller, which is crazy because so many people are always referencing the CME futures gap. While Bitcoin can neither flow into or out of OKX, its price is in line with those of its rivals. Bitcoin's price on OKX is not that different from other exchanges. Ki-Young Ju, Chief Executive Officer of data provider CryptoQuant, told CoinDesk Muyo Shen, I do apologize if I'm saying these names wrong, people can trade their Bitcoin on OKX despite the withdrawal suspension. And miners are finding other venues to unload their newly minted Bitcoin. You got Huobi, Binance, and other exchanges seem to be picking up the slack, according to data from Chain Analysis. Unfortunately, it hasn't been Robinhood easy for some miners to then convert their crypto into fiat, in this case, Chinese yuan, because of the money laundering crackdown. So some stricter regulations for them to be able to do the conversions makes it a little bit more difficult for the miners. But long story short with this, it's kind of like a big key takeaway, is that even though you can't withdraw it, there's still activities taking place. And people that want to add new Bitcoin to the exchange, they have other options in their country, as they mentioned. So it's not like a do or die situation. Once OKX says you can do withdrawals, that all of a sudden there's going to be this max influx of new crypto Bitcoin that's going to be flooding the market, right? All those other ones are taking up that slack. So I think that's a very, very key point. And I wasn't aware of this until I read this article today. I had a different perspective view. So I'm glad this clarified. I don't know if that helped clarify a lot of the info for you guys as well, but it makes sense to me. OKX is expected to allow withdrawals by Friday of this week. What I do like about this, though, is that once withdrawals are permitted again, the more that crypto is being removed off the exchanges and put basically into cold storage, the less supply circulating around that seems to be taking place. So if demand continues to increase and there's clear evidence of a decline in circulating supply, then it's a large indicator that the price is going to go up. High demand, low supply, right? Very interesting. Should Bitcoin's uptrend slow, investors could rotate money to cheap alternative cryptocurrencies. So things like we're talking about with Orchid and XRP and all these other alternative coins, especially with Ethereum 2.0 coming out. So we're very close to $20,000, guys. If for some reason we don't hit it soon, which who knows, maybe by the time I get this video uploaded, it just all of a sudden exploded and hit $20,000, because there's a little bit of delay when I record the video to the point when it actually gets uploaded. But you know, if it doesn't, and it takes a little bit more time to go sideways, some of this money could be moving into some of the other coins, guys. And we take a look historically back, you could see a lot of other cryptocurrency did have an explosive growth during Bitcoin's big major rally. During aggressive rallies in the price of Bitcoin, market participants sell their alternative cryptocurrencies for Bitcoin to capture the upside. Once Bitcoin slows down, the capital flows back into alternative cryptocurrencies and a valuation parity is found. Nicholas Pelikonos, head of trading at NEM Ventures, said. So I found this to be very interesting. On the next bit of news. This is in regards to what's been moving on. There's something called the Elliott wave. So Elliott wave has 5 principal movements, but I'm just going to go ahead and read you guys what they wrote here because they describe it very eloquently. The Elliott wave theory is based on the idea that there's 5 waves in a primary trend, 3 uptrends, and 2 intervening corrections. A correction would be like a pullback, the price goes down in simple terms. The first wave higher occurred in 2014, followed by a decline into 2015 and a long-term uptrend through 2018, Gordon said. The fourth wave is formed sort of a sideways triangle over the course of the last 2 years, and the fifth could be Bitcoin's latest wave higher, the trader said. The point of all this is a reliable relationship in the Elliott wave theory is the percent distance traveled in that first wave in 2014 is often equal to the percent change in wave 5, Gordon said. Seen as the first wave was a roughly 658% rally, Gordon's target was a lofty one. I can't believe I'm going to go out on CNBC and say this, but it's about $74,000, he said. The Elliott wave goes very well with Fibonacci multiples. If it does want to fall short, it can go up to 61% of that target, which is only at $34,000. Okay, they make it sound like, it's only 30. I'm sorry, but 20,000 is the highest we've ever had. Seeing anything above that means that we're making progress and it's new all-time highs. And $34,000 would be absolutely amazing because I believe the Dow Jones today also hit, $30,000? Dow Jones. Yeah, Dow Jones closed for the first time above $30,000, passed above $30,000. Absolutely record breaking. Can you imagine if it's like, hey, Dow Jones, Donald Trump, Dow Jones hit $30,000. Absolutely amazing. Incredible. And then it's like Bitcoin passes it and he's like, I'm not going to talk about that cryptocurrency. I don't believe in Bitcoin. I don't invest in it. I could have more money, but I decided to invest in other things like Trump University. Oh, God. Anyways, moving on. So, sorry, guys. I'm having fun with this, guys. So closing that out right there. And yeah, very interesting. Let me know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are on this as well. Do you think $34,000 in the next year is very reasonable? Do you think it's going to be another delay in time, retracement back? Do you think $74,000 before the end of next year sounds very reasonable? I think before the end of next year, getting close to $100,000 is very potential because we're seeing a lot more increase in demand, and it's especially once we pass this all-time high and we don't have a total cap out point. I think we're going to set new highs multiple times next year. It's going to be a very interesting time. And then up next, you got Janet Yellen. Who is this lady? Well, we should keep her on our radar because since President-elect Biden is looking to have a new cabinet of people come in, one of these people that he's mentioned is this person right here. Former Federal Reserve Chairman Janet Yellen could become the next U.S. Treasury Secretary. The Wall Street Journal reported Monday that President-elect Joe Biden plans to nominate Yellen in the coming days, positioning the longtime economist to succeed current Secretary Steve Mnuchin if approved by the U.S. Senate. While Yellen hasn't said a lot about Bitcoin, she is clearly familiar with the cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and spoke about both while she was still in office at the Fed. So this is her past history of what she said, right? In 2015, October, we do not interpret Bitcoin's popularity as having a relationship with the public's view of the Federal Reserve's conduct of monetary policy. So it's kind of like, whatever. December 2017, it is not a stable store of value and it doesn't constitute legal tender. It is a highly speculative asset. It's starting to sound like she's getting a little bit upset. October 2018, I would just say outright, I am not a fan, and let me tell you why. I know there are hundreds of cryptocurrencies and maybe something is coming down the line that is more appealing, but I think first of all, very few transactions that are actually handled by Bitcoin, and many of those do take place on Bitcoin, are illegal, illicit transactions. Which I think this is just a ridiculous statement in of itself. You got the blockchain and, like if people are going to do illegal activities, which they are going to do, guess what? We can better track it thanks to blockchain technology. You should be praising the fact that if somebody is doing illegal activity, which if you're involving money, they're going to do it, whether it's your fiat money, whether it's a cryptocurrency. Like, people do bad things, and money is a means of exchange to acquire those bad things. What would you rather have? Would you rather have something that's untraceable? Why? Why would you want that, right? Regular fiat money. Like, how can you definitively say that it transferred hands from one to another unless you literally saw it happen in person? But with this, you can track all of its trail history through the wallet addresses, and that's how a lot of these criminals are getting caught. And that's a key thing, is a lot of criminals are getting caught because of the emphasis of blockchain technology. So I don't like the fact, but that was 2 years ago. And then we got some other statements. In February 2014, the Fed doesn't have authority to supervise or regulate Bitcoin in any way. Right, that's back then. October 2015, Yellen said the U.S. financial regulators should not stifle innovation. December 2017, the Fed doesn't really play any regulatory role with respect to Bitcoin other than assuring that banking organizations that we do supervise are attentive, that they're appropriately managing any interactions they have with participants in that market and appropriately monitoring anti-money laundering and Bank Secrecy Act responsibilities that they have. So the blockchain, September 2016. Blockchain could have very significant implications for the payment system and the conduct of business. January 2017. Blockchain is a very important new technology that could have implications for the way in which transactions are handled throughout the financial system. It's unclear how Yellen might approach crypto regulations or if they'll even be a priority. However, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency OCC, Federal Reserve, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network FinCEN, and Office of Foreign Asset Control OFAC all either work closely with the Treasury Department or are bureaus within the department. So if she acquires this position, which seems very likely, all it seems to need to have at this point is the approval from Congress. As of her most recent statements, the things related to like the 2017, 2018 period, she doesn't seem like she's that big of a fan, but a lot of things have been changing and a lot of other people have changed their perspective views. And 2 years is a decent amount of time to see how the transition will affect, and the major institutions that are coming in with this too can really open eyes and kind of clarify a little bit more the depth of what is capable with Bitcoin. Now, taking a look at the actual charts here, let's go and look at Bitcoin on the daily. Bitcoin on the daily is looking very good still. We have another closeout day on the green candle. It is 4:41 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as of when I'm making this video. So we are now in a new daily candle formation. We had 2-day retracements that took place over the weekend, and this green candle on the Monday formation was very, very nice. Wait, is today Monday? No, today is Tuesday. Yeah, I'm losing track of my days, guys. Today's Tuesday, right? Tuesday, yes. Okay, Tuesday. So then Monday was a little bit of retracement. Sunday was also retracement. And then Saturday just slightly in the green. So pretty calm weekend. And then a lot of the action for the altcoins took place on the Monday. And then this had a further rally up. So now we're currently above $19,000, $19,218. And another major cap zone that we need to try and break is from yesterday, which was at approximately $19,500. That puts within a $500 range. Right now we're around the 4% range from the all-time high right there at that like 20K mark, guys. So it is looking absolutely incredible with the way things are moving right now. I mean, by comparison, you can see with where we're currently at in the $19,200 range, there's this light blue line that's taking place. So if we just zoom in a bit here on the trading view side, you can actually see that at 19,895. So according to trading view, not quite 20K or 19,900. It's a very, very close range. We could just say 19,900, right? Yeah, it's like $19,900. So if it breaks above that, guess what? We have an all-time high being established. Absolutely incredible. And the fact that we hit 19,500 earlier today, it was this close from being able to do it. Can it still pull it off, though? That's what we're going to have to keep an eye on here on the new daily candle and see how things continue to progress. A retracement down at this point, as of that long standard formation for that resistance that has been formed, although we could technically raise this up once again, continuing to broaden out that position on that essentially would spin an ascending broadening wedge pattern. But if we kept it on the same significance level as before, a retracement down would actually coincide with the 21 EMA. These two have collapsed over one another, and that would be at $17,030 respectively. With the retracement at a new higher level formation, we take a look here and see where a lot of this is kind of falling into place. Similarly, right here actually looks pretty stable. We've got a closeout pattern that's taken place. We got a closeout or open pattern right here, closeout on that daily, top with the wick right there, near top with the wick here, near top with the wick there. So this seems like a pretty accurate position to hold for the more immediacy. And so a retracement back potentially to tap this level of resistance would be just at approximately $19,000. So we got about a $200 range, and you saw previously in the day it did have a substantial drop that took down to the $18,000 level. I didn't even realize that it dropped down that much. But the $18,000 level was a bottom, and then all the way up to a peak was at $19,500. So you're talking about a $1,500 movement over the course of the full 24-hour period. And a $1,000 movement, not even $1,500, but a $1,000 movement from right now would put us above 20K and securing a brand new higher position. So we're very close, guys. And as news media begins to cover this even more, guess what? You're going to see a large influx with this. So it's going to be very interesting how this continues to play out. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and go to Google Trends real quick. Oops, I should just put Google Trends. Google Trends. And let's go take a look at two of the key factors we covered in the other day. So one is just going to be Bitcoin, and see how this kind of correlates. We're going to move it outside of the United States and put it worldwide. And the interest over the time, you can see that there is actually a slight retracement back, which is kind of interesting right here. So it's previously a little bit higher. If we pass above this 20K, I would not be surprised. Some of the interest might be moving more about like trying to get ready for the traveling. And so people aren't looking at news quite so much. But, you know, the word's going to be getting out more and more and more. Interesting to see this having a little bit of a pullback. And then let's also look at buy Bitcoin and see if that has any kind of a transitional change. And this is actually further continuation up. So the idea of people just looking at Bitcoin in general may be on the downside a little bit, but buy Bitcoin is still going higher. It's still going higher. And we compare that to, say, in the last 5 years, you can see that uptick that's starting to rally even more is reminiscent to in that 2017 period, guys. And that was like the beginning part of the rally. So this high peak right here was where we hit in the $20,000 price range, right? We're already almost to 20K. So it's not like this is just going to all of a sudden shoot all the way up there because we're almost to 20K. If it shoots all the way up to these kinds of levels, we're talking about a lot higher than $20,000. This is potentially in the $50, $75, $100,000 kind of principal idea mindset. So this is the beginning, guys. It is showing an uptick, especially in relationship. You look at the last 5 years, it's now positioned itself at a higher point than even back in 2019, earlier in 2020, with the drop that took place and the recovery that started to occur there. And if this continues up to that baseline 25, that would be the middle part of middle part of 2017. So very, very interesting. And I think a couple people ripped into me, by the way, for my previous video. They said Austria and Australia are not the same thing. I just want to say a quick side note. I know they're not the same thing. I was reading two different charts going back and forth. I might have had a slip of the tongue, but yeah, I know Australia and Austria are not the same thing, but if I'm looking at them very quickly, I may have just read one and thought it said Austria or it said Australia, or I just said it and I wasn't really thinking about it. Anyways, it's a very side little fact. And closing that out, now we go take a look over what's going on with Orchid, and then we're going to wrap up with XRP. And once again, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and that bell notification as well. Now, what's really interesting going on with Orchid is that we had another large green candle. We're pushing ourselves up to 33 cents at the moment on the new daily formation. There is a little bit of a retracement that has taken place, but it is also fighting back and trying to reclaim that higher position and a further continuation up. These large wicks up on the top show that there was also a significance in selling pressure. But what also I find really interesting is this previous Fibonacci retracement level that I have set up correlates pretty well with where the bottom line of the candle is and the tops of the wick for these positions right here. Well, not the bottom of the wick, but the top part of the candle, but not the actual wick itself. If you really want to worry about semantics with this stuff. But you take a look right here, it passes just slightly above this key level line. And then same thing with the wick, just slightly above. And then the next position for the daily was just slightly below. And the next wick was just slightly above. Right now we are resting just slightly below. So it's correlating very strongly within a small median factor of error with that Fibonacci retracement. So I would really keep an eye on this position, guys. With where it's at right now, a push above the 0.5 on the Fibonacci retracement would make it break above into the region zone of around 34 cents. So we're looking about a 1 cent gain. If it pushes back to above the 0.618 on the Fibonacci retracement, that'd be above 37 cents, pushing in near the 38 cent range. Right now that we're hanging within the 30 cent range zone, if it does a little bit of consolidation here and establishing a strong foothold in 30 cent range, the next major region zone, obviously, for a psychological standpoint, would be 40 cent range. And so that push up would start getting us closer and closer to a full 50% retracement back to the $1 zone, right? I mean, 50% of $1. So right now we're making good progress for sure. It is still on a bullish uptrend. The RSI is suggesting that it's overbought, but that's in relationship to what's been going on within the course of this history here. And it's been feeling like it's quite overdue for to having some like actual strong uptick surge. Do have concern though, because this has a previous history of a pump and dump kind of situation, and these dumps that take place tend to be quite significant. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. A further retracement back down on the 21 EMA is actually nearing that 0.236 on the Fibonacci retracement. They're about to cross over on the next daily position, and by doing so, that's going to be at approximately a 26 cent range. Seeing it drop below the 30 cent range will start to show a little bit more of a bearish sentiment, but right now it is holding strong, and as long as it can stay above that 21 EMA, even if it has retracements back, I'm still leaning on the positive bullish side, guys. And this formation is starting to broaden out even further now with this actual top region zone. So something like this, we can actually start to see expand out, and this is much more of a reliable position. However, guess what? It's still a descending wedge pattern, which is a strong indication of a reversal, meaning that the price should actually still have a further continuation up. So very excited to see how this progressive movement can take place. And if this was to say have a further movement all the way across like this, then we could see from the top position right here all the way down, you might have a further breakout all the way up almost to the 1.68, would actually push it right around to around 63 cents. A 63 cent movement would be absolutely amazing. That's after the breakout of the top level of that resistance. Pushing to that level also puts it very close to the 1.618 in the Fibonacci retracement, and also into the next region zone, which has a large gap that's essentially where the close to the baseline, not on it, but pretty close to the baseline for that large candle back on August 16th that saw that huge rise uptick. So curious to see how this is going to play out, guys. Our Fibonacci retracement might have a little bit of a shift as things continue to progress on, but right now it's proving to be very, very reliable as some key significant factor region zones. So let's go ahead and take a look now over at XRP. Let me get that saved right there. And with XRP, yesterday, absolutely massive explosive growth once again, pushing up to approximately 93 cents, getting real close to that $1 region zone. A little bit of a retracement back right now. Things are kind of quiet and calm. I think a lot of people are kind of keeping an eye on Bitcoin and just kind of wondering if it's going to have that big, massive rally. I don't know why people are selling Bitcoin right now with us being this close. The fear of it having a further collapse and everything, okay, but you know, we're still $800 away from this, unless they know something absolutely crazy is about to happen. But even weirder is when people are shorting in a position like this. Like, it's way more likely that we're going to be getting closer to the 20K range than we're going to be dropping down right now. So people are nuts. People are absolutely nuts. And so taking a look at this just a little bit further, I do apologize, by the way, if you guys hear somebody in the background. That's my roommate that's on a phone call. So hopefully you guys don't hear that. Just taking a look over at the XRP again, very briefly. There we go. Now it's starting to show more of the chart. Wait, no, it's not. Oh, maybe I was just looking at it wrong. What am I doing wrong with this? I thought I had more. Anyways, so looking at a previous point, 51 cents. Yeah, it's not showing the chart fully for some reason. Let's just focus on the immediacy of what we got right here then. So break above 93 cents is going to be key, getting back towards that $1 region zone and pushing to its previous all-time high. Retracement back down from here to the 21 EMA would put it right around 40 cents. So that region zone is going to be a definite key point. And then let's go look at the coin market cap, and I'm going to go ahead and look up XRP right there. So then you got this point right here. So the XRP, the all-time high looking at on this chart actually identifies the all-time high was $3.84. So we still got a large margin of change to put all the way back above $1, $2, $3, and then it would hit previous all-time highs, right? Then we could actually technically see it go even higher. So with a total supply of 100 billion, essentially, that is a quite large supply. Circulating supply is only about half of that. So there's still a lot of XRP that could still go. And the more circulating supply that you add, the harder it is to be trying to get the price to move in different directions. Anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this, got some good valuable information out of it. Again, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Make sure you click that bell notification so you know when we have new videos that go up. And also, if you can hit that like button, we are trying to get to at least 50 likes on this video. Drop a comment down below letting me know what you thought about everything that we said today. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of this community, and we will see you in the next episode.